set a record anyway. Still make it quick.
Why would some in an office have, treasurer's office have more hours than others?
You have to ask Julie.
7.5?
She got one covered for another, of course. 6 or something. Okay, allegiance. 9 o'clock, say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Motion from Stenger and a second from Derby to approve the minutes and agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, discussion with possible action, COVID policies.
Well, I've had a couple of complaints about being open. And then once we're open, that sometimes they get turned away. So I don't know if we want to change it or not. I know our policy, so, well, not policy, but our attitude has been that the elected officials take care of it, so.
Well, I guess
Well, and that was against the advice of the county attorney, who said that everything should be the same. So,
Oh, I guess I must have shut my ears to that one.
yeah, and she recommended that everybody have the same policy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, it changes my thinking a little bit.
the only problem with I suppose in the treasurer's office, they're tied to the DOT, and the DOT has recommendations for the licensing, so I don't know how that interacts with our county policies.
And they also probably have more traffic than anybody else.
Right. I do think that we need to clarify exactly what is going down at the treasurer's office. Are they open on one side of it and for what? And seems to be some confusion.
Right. Definitely.
And you said,
I believe she says she has it on her website, or on the website.
Well, let's look.
Well, up until this week, I hadn't heard a peep, but in light of what I've learned this week, I would say that it's going to be hard not to open it up if people keep getting turned away.
we were allowing her a soft opening through the, the left side being open to walk-ups, but I think she needs to clarify it by now to the public what she's doing.
Yeah. So leave it as is for right now, or?
Well,
Do you want to call her down and
Oh, yeah,
maybe,
probably would be smart.
This
I'm gonna
is,
guess 75.
56.
There is participant announcements on.
this is what she's got on the website.
Oh,
Hello?
is Julie there?
Yep, hold on.
Did I hit the wrong one? Oh, yeah, I did. I hit the wrong one. I take my glasses off and read those little numbers.
She's with the customer. She'll be down soon.
All right, we'll table it for a few minutes then. All right, thank you. Okay, let's move on to Scott Minders, engineer, will discuss secondary road matters.
Yep, morning.
Morning.
With the 4th of July behind us now, we'll probably be trying to get box culvert projects scheduled, throughout the rest of the summer and fall, so should have a little more information on that soon. The guys are hauling gravel toward Buffalo Center, doing the annual gravel resurfacing run. Our construction projects are still waiting on updated schedules, and current schedule shows paving work to start end of the month. I'll keep you posted if I hear anything otherwise.
Which one are they gonna start on first? Is it the same contractor for all of it?
Same contractor for all of it.
Yeah.
They do have subcontractors for the cold in place recycling work, or excuse me, the milling work and traffic control and some minor things. They will start on the cold in place recycling, but of course that's 3 different projects and I don't know which one they'll start on first. They haven't told me that yet, and I assume that they don't really know yet. So they'll either start west of Scarville, north of Highway 9 on R50, or east of Leland on A38, one of the 3.
Yeah, it's probably the roughest. At least the first little bit.
Yeah, R50 and A38 are both very rough. So it'd be good to get those fixed up.
Had to go to Rochester yesterday, so as I was driving the interstate, there's a stretch there that they are redoing, but I noticed, I drove my truck, so it was a little bit rougher, but
Sure.
anyway, when you hit a bump, if you hit a bump on the highway, especially an 18-wheeler, is that kind of like a jackhammer on that road?
I would say not quite as bad as if you got a dip.
Yeah.
Where
Oh, really?
they get the tires slammed down in that dip, and we have some of that out on our system that we'll be doing some slurry leveling here soon and probably do some more next year. Yeah, it is.
No, when you go over roads, especially roads that got that chop to them, you can sit there and watch your air gauge on your suspension go.
Oh, really?
So it's
Has
crazy.
joined.
Somewhat of a hammer effect, which
Yeah.
multiplied over thousands and
Right.
thousands of trucks and thousands of days.
We should be watching out for that then, shouldn't we?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like us, when we drive it, to let you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll drive the system, our pave system, at least once a year to kind of get a flavor for how things are doing and problems that come up. I probably should do it more, and I plan to do it this fall again, and kind of getting a plan for next year. I think we should do more of that than we have done in the past. But yeah, definitely, the smoother it is, the better it will age.
Right.
And it kind of works together.
I always try to miss them for 2 reasons. One, it ain't good for the road, and the other one, it isn't good for you or the trip.
No.
I I end up straddling the center line a lot. People probably think that I'm doing it on purpose. They seem to break up on the outsides faster than they do on the insides too.
Yeah, and, that's because when you're in the middle, you have support from both sides of the pavement. On the edge, you just have it from one side, so it's like an arm sticking out. And can easily break off, yeah.
I just noticed on that road from, I still call it 105. What is that road? Going, Lake goes to Northwood.
It's 105 still.
They
County
still call it
Road
105?
County
Oh,
105.
okay.
For, in Worth County.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
I
you go
know.
to Joyce, that's cement. I noticed, I kept track of that, and there was a couple of those, hard bumps.
On,
And and this is when they did it, within about a year and a half, it was busted, cracked
from
pretty
the
good.
Worth side.
Yeah,
I know they've had a couple of buckling issues where, concrete over asphalt, concrete behaves differently than asphalt, so it'll get so hot that it'll shove up and buckle in isolated spots, and they have the perfect fix for that. But ours is asphalt over concrete, 105 going out of Lake Mills, and we did grind a couple of pushed
Yeah.
up bumps on it.
There's a
Either
reason
last
why.
year.
Oh, it's before you get to Carpenter, we went to St. Ansgar to a game the other night, and Dad didn't see it right away, and I'll bet it was that high. It was concrete that buckled up a little bit in one spot.
Yeah. I think the ones we grinded off were maybe less than an inch, but when you hit them, it felt like they were
Oh, yeah, I
bad.
remember those.
Doesn't take much to really shake the car.
Well, that's all I got.
Anything else for secondary roads?
No.
Okay. And then we'll go back to discussion with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies. Mike has received a few complaints about people that have gotten turned away or whatever, and you've got everything out there. Everybody knows, can read the rules, except for they probably don't. But is there anything that's going to change down there? Or it's gonna
No, we're gonna stay the same. Everything is by appointment. We've got, the benches are full down there right now with people waiting. They don't go by the appointments anyway. So when they call in, if they have driver's license or motor vehicle titles, it will be by appointment only. Otherwise, you're gonna have everybody sitting in the hallway. I can't social distance as much as I would like down there. We're getting the people in and out as fast as we can. What are the complaints that
I had one complaint from a lady that called me and said that she couldn't get her 16-year-old son.
they can do that online?
Okay.
And that's what the state is pushing for. All the young drivers need to do it online.
Okay.
And the problem the parents are having is they don't have the patience to wait for the acceptance from the state. If the state hasn't accepted the parent consent form or the testing, we can't do anything here for them either. Because we're not allowed to test and we're not doing drives. So the parents.
That was left out of the conversation.
Yep, most of the time when you guys hear the complaints, you don't hear the whole story.
Yeah.
So, the parents are upset because they're not following the rules on the computer. And the young people can do it all online.
Which they should anyway.
They should, because right now we're trying to still get in our re-exam people, the at-risk people, the essential drivers, the CDLs. We're trying to get those guys,
Yeah.
the overload that the state can't handle. But everybody else should be able to, if they're 68 and younger, they should be able to do it all online. And we're double booking down there right now. If we can get somebody out, we'll bring somebody in. But you've probably got 8 people sitting on the bench down there, and there was 2 sitting in our office. My office doors are open, so, people are coming in my office. I don't have my door blocked so they're coming in. And we're busy on the phone. We're doing stuff through the mail and emailing the same as we have been. So I don't know what you want me to do any different.
Well, no, it just, the only thing is we just gotta talk about it, get the message out that that the parameters have changed and, or been the same for a while, but evidently there's people that aren't getting the message.
They get the message, but they don't want to hear it, maybe.
That,
I think that's it.
Yep. They're so used to coming in and just getting the stuff done, and I wish we could still do that, but we can't at this point.
Well, and you, I guess, kind of have a double whammy. DOT gives you rules to work by too, I suppose. I just, when someone brings up something, I gotta bring it up.
Yep, I appreciate that. But what, is it just my office that you're getting complaints from, or,
I've had one complaint for the courthouse and that's it.
from the
That's it.
16-year-old parent?
Yeah, you probably know who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
But
that's the only complaint I've gotten on anything.
business is being done as usual down there. The only difference is that they have to make an appointment. Our doors have been open just as much as any other office here, if not more. And,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Have you turned people away?
we have had to have people leave because we've had too many people already in our office.
Okay.
And there's been people on the bench. They can go sit in their car and come back later or call, and we'll try and get them in. But we're still pushing renewals, and tax payments can come by mail or online for 25 cents. And really,
I
people,
kind of chuckled when you said, I'm not paying the 25 cents. Someone said they're not paying the 25 cents.
I know, when they've asked for the internet services and online payments, and then we've dropped the fees down to a quarter.
Okay, that's all I got.
all right,
So next week again?
yeah, well, you said you wanted to be here if we were discussing it, so.
Yeah, well, I'm not changing anything down there. When I do, I can probably come back. I won't probably be here next week, so.
All right,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
okay, discussion with possible action, agreement with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. For habitat improvement funds.
So, it's been a little while since the wetland project in Mount Valley has been discussed. I wasn't sure what the status was with it with the board and the drainage districts or whatever, but I've been kind of moving forward as if the project was approved and planned to go forward, just so I have my ducks in order. I have as final of plans as they said they're going to develop for the two north and south side of the road where we have to do the road crossing. So I know what needs to be done. And so I put together a cost estimate for that work. And I've been working with Derek Weisenflew at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service over in Titonka. And he has given me I would call it a grant agreement for funding to do the portion across the road. And the reason why NRCS can't pay for that, they've said, is because their easement boundaries don't connect. So where the road goes through, we have a gap. And they're not allowed to pay for that. So we can hire a contractor to do that part, pay them, and then get reimbursed by this program. My estimate hopefully is plenty conservative, but it's for $73.70. There are two tiles that will be crossing the road, and one is an 18-inch dual wall, unless we need to upgrade that pipe height because it's 14 and a half feet deep. The other is PVC, and it's their overflow for for the pond, the wetland pond. So there's actually two tiles that cross there right side by side. And it's
Does that
fairly,
go right to the easement then and stop?
the 18-inch
The
tile,
solid pipe,
the solid pipe starts at the pool,
yeah.
50 feet on the north side of the road, goes through the road, and then will daylight into the next pond south of the road. The 18-inch tile is actually the old drainage district tile, and they'll be replacing that around the wetland, and then as they get to the road right away, we'll pick up our portion, and then they'll pick it up on the south side, and that'll also be daylighted into the wetland pond to the south.
Is that dual wall perforated?
It is non-perforated
Non-perforated.
all the way through that.
Is that
Rerouting, I think.
probably a foolish question, but should it be perforated so that the road drains good too, or?
Well, they're putting, we'll be putting intakes on both sides.
Where they're gonna be intakes, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, they have a observation intake and a regular intake, and then we'll be putting another one on the other side of the road, so
All right.
my hope is that that would take care of the drainage. Good question.
Is there anything we need to be concerned about in this agreement? Because a lot of times you work with Fish and Wildlife, it's almost like you're selling your soul to the devil and you get caught later.
Compared to agreements with federal partners, this is very brief. I didn't read anything in there that
We can still have motorized traffic on our roads.
concerning, there wasn't really, in fact, most of it's boilerplate documents, and then the Exhibit A is really the only thing specific to the project, so, the last 2 pages just describes the projects and the amount of funding, and it says we can either hire a contractor or do it in-house and get reimbursed for cost. And then they've included some kind of oversight costs as well. And then it just says we'll maintain it in the future, which is like any other tile crossing in the whole county. And the county's kind of on the hook to take care of that if it fails, or if a landowner's replacing their tile and want to upgrade the tile crossing as well. So I guess nothing really surprising. It's that total 5 pages. It's pretty happy with it. It really seems like not a lot of administration for the funds that we would get. And my plan is to see who the contractor is that gets that work, which it hasn't bid yet, and ask them to do it so they can just work start to finish and we'll pay our portion.
Sounds good.
So refresh my memory, what is our current status on this? We did approve it moving forward?
I think it's still in office, isn't it? Or the bid,
Well,
Thompson.
We said we'd work with them once, but we still have to see their final documents.
well, we wanted all of our parameters met as far
Right.
as,
Yeah.
having intakes and,
So
Falls along
they've
the
moved
tile.
on to design then.
yeah.
And this is this final plan she said they have for these areas. This is pretty much just shows me the road crossing plus maybe 50 feet on both sides. So I assume that they have pretty good plans for all the rest of it that they should be submitting to you for approval. This does show marker posts and observation intakes where I would expect them for this area, so I would.
It sounded like they were, if I remember right, they were willing to do
Yeah.
all that. I mean, it's not that hard to put, if you're putting in or redoing a line anyway, it's not that hard to put in an observation post every now and then.
But I would hope that they'd have final plans on file with the drainage district and some sort of record of where the new tiles are and that you're okay with it and that you're going to maintain it as the district, all those
Yeah,
things.
and then the maintenance of the trees over it is one of the main things. We got another one, I just,
Yeah.
guy called me this morning. It's trees and the tree roots and the stopping the whole thing up.
I didn't know that one. I had one too. Anyway,
Okay,
could we take care of this right now and just approve it if the plans go through?
Contingent on the plan going
Yeah.
through.
Then we can take care of it right today.
That would
Yeah.
give you the authority administratively to move
Yeah,
forward.
I guess the
Right.
signature block has my name on it, so if you guys are in support of it, I'll get it says draft on it. I'll get a final copy and execute it once you've approved the project.
I'll make that a motion.
I'll second it.
motion Stenger and a second Derby to go ahead with the agreement. Give Scott the authority to go ahead with the agreement with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for habitat improvement funds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So I'm sure they're not gonna give you money if the project doesn't go through.
No, they'll probably reimburse actual costs.
That would be the proper way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then we'll move on to auditor's office. We'll discuss drainage. What is she, 7511?
No, she's not here right now. Can we table that till later?
All right. Consider for approval auditor's quarterly report.
People actually paid their parking lot tickets.
Lots of people do.
Really? Sure. How many don't?
I'm not sure.
Lots of people.
I think more pay them than don't. They're supposed to pay them.
I'll make a motion to approve the auditor's report.
Auditor's transfer charge, what's that?
It's a charge for real estate.
You're involved in that?
Yeah, we do, all the transfer books are in my office.
Oh. No, I know it's you, not me.
We do things that nobody knows that we do.
It's top secret, skull and bones type
No,
stuff.
it just, we have our hands in everything.
I'm just looking like I'm concerned. This one tells me nothing.
I know what the transfer books are like.
Thanks, Scott.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Well, I got a
I'll
motion,
second.
motion from Terry and a second from Stenger to approve the auditor's quarterly report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, by the way, I have looked at your transfer books, so I know they're there. They're usually really old ones.
Well,
So you get a fee from somebody for doing that?
Yeah.
How come, I'm curious.
So actually, Chris collects the whole fee and then she gives us our part of
Oh,
it.
okay, all right.
Okay, well, let's assume these guys are here for the
Let's
next one.
stall till Chris gets here.
All right. You just sing or entertain? or-
You can sing if you want, Bill, that'd
You
be
got open
fine.
forum.
Open the
There's
forum?
payroll you could look at till we're ready to
Yeah,
go.
that's true. Is there anything for open forum?
I just gave you the thing to sign, so I
All
think
right,
we're good
that's
there.
done with. All right, we'll finish the paper claims. What time's she gonna be here?
Any minute.
Okay. So have you, like with Kevin and the extra cleaning that he has to do because of this COVID thing, have you turned any of that in yet?
Well, what I've turned in is like like to be mining. So I've turned in like the sneeze
Very.
guards, I've turned
You know
in
where Mike Ellis lives, right?
extra
Was that in the
things that
FEMA?
we bought for,
No chance
that.
you would have
but
it all
unless
done
it's
by-
actually overtime, you can't turn that in.
Was he,
Seemed like, I know
Scott?
Kevin,
Mike Helgeson went ahead and
the two Kevins are both put in
cleaned up
some
that
extra hours.
east of him, that would be,
I assume we get reimbursed for that.
I don't know. it's-
Well, if it
you know
is
where
overtime,
Salem
I could-
Cemetery is on 69,
One of
Yes.
them's got 82.5.
That's the road,
The other
going
one's got
east.
84.5.
and there was a couple thousand. And it did help us, the county, because it doesn't cross the road anymore and wash gravel in the ditch. I don't know if you wanna work with him and pay him a little bit, or,
He cleaned the road ditch, you're saying?
yep. So, whatever. I'll have him call you.
Sure.
Gary Helgeson did it.
I
And all
imagine
was
he
done right.
must not have contacted the engineer's office for permit to work within the easement.
Well, I didn't bring that up, so.
That's the first question.
Compliance on that is not very high, unfortunately.
I knew Gary would be the only one they would hire, so I
Yeah.
was kinda. I know he did his one call.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that covers his butt.
Some people figure the one call includes, they call you to let you know.
It kind of would be nice sometimes to know who's out there digging, but you get a lot of them, I'm sure.
It was Ethan Newton's, right?
Yeah, you'll see that on his time sheet. He does similar to Mark Kroll.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Two separate time sheets.
Who's Zach Stephenson's dad?
Neil.
Yeah.
Starts to fall asleep. Handwriting ain't a beauty.
Different muscles than driving a truck, maybe.
Yeah, we're working on stuff.
I don't think this would cost anything. Might be a little perk for the employees. I mean, even for me as a supervisor, it'd be nice to have all the secondary road photo on the webpage. Is that a lot of work?
Well, it wouldn't be a lot of work, but I would want their consent, and I don't think they'd be too interested.
Oh, really? They would not.
Having everybody knowing what they're doing, you can read.
No,
But,
no, just their pictures of it.
oh,
On one hand, it'd be nice that people know the faces, right?
Yeah,
yeah, it would be,
I got people that ask me, who does this road? I don't know, it keeps moving around.
Yeah. On the other hand, I don't want them really,
no, not.
getting confronted or
Yeah.
anything like that out there.
well, they know which guy to confront in public now, they
So,
see
so what you need is you click on your road and it'll bring up a face. This person's in charge of your road. It'd be
No,
his
no, I
face.
wouldn't want to know.
Well,
that.
It'd be his face.
We,
Oh, yeah.
for a while there, we actually, and not intentionally, but the Beacon website, if you click on the road layer, it would tell you whose route it is.
Oh, really?
And I don't think anybody really used it. It was outdated information, so we took it off there, but,
It's only as good as it's kept updated.
yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying-
ultimately, the accountability goes to me, so,
I just say it because I don't even know everybody,
yeah.
you know?
it would be nice, cause I know the name, and I've probably seen their face, but a lot of them, I've never put both of them together.
Right.
Because I see the names here all the time. And,
We have pictures of all of them from 2013 in the office, but we should probably update the photos.
It was selfish reasons.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
well, I did see Chris out there, but now she's gone.
She's there.
She's sitting there.
All right.
Waiting for us.
Then we'll move on back to consider for approval contract and notice to proceed with B&B Farm
Well, you
Drainage.
can just sit in the middle so we keep our sick. I'm just joking.
DD 11 tile improvement project.
Alright.
So can we ask any questions?
Yes.
So, earlier you approved this as a 1-inch coefficient. Now you're digging an open ditch to a 2-inch coefficient. You had 4 options when you started: 1/2-inch coefficient, pipe, 1/2-inch coefficient, open ditch. Then you had 1-inch pipe, 1-inch ditch. How did we all of a sudden get to a 2-inch ditch?
I don't think we were ever at a 1-inch ditch.
But that was just one of the options,
Ditch was always an option.
at a 1-inch coefficient
We
or a
weren't doing
1/2 inch.
anything with the ditch in the very beginning. And then we looked at it and figured we couldn't get the cover on the tile as big as it had to be for the 1-inch. So then we had to go to a 1-inch or an open ditch, which is always designed for 2-inch coefficient, the same as what's existing out there now. And then
Existing now is a
what we
24
voted on
inch.
was the specs of a 2-inch ditch and 1-inch coefficient tile.
But it was never wrote that way in our options.
Because when they design the ditch, it's just a continuation of what's already there. And if that happens to be a 2-inch, then that's what it is. They don't design it to be one way or another, they're just continuing on with what's there.
You're downstream of the tile, refresh my memory, you're downstream of the tile, right?
Yep,
You're not gonna get any more than 1 inch anyway.
but there was really, if we want to start there again, there really isn't a lot of consideration for the downstream. I mean, you're increasing this flow. And Hopper said finally that, yes, it will be an extraordinarily amount of water more.
Because that open ditch will get more surface water, so it will be more
Faster,
than 1
quicker.
inch.
And
But I'm just trying to run this through my, how can a 1 inch coefficient on the tile? You got the ditch, then you got the tile in your land, right, correct?
Yep.
So if it's a 1 inch coefficient on the tile, how can any more water be pushed through that?
But you're not doing a tile now, you're doing a 2-inch.
But it
Open
goes,
ditch.
doesn't it go back, oh no, it doesn't, I'm sorry, no, I got that.
And then at the
Yeah,
top
I
of this
got it now.
is gonna be a 1-inch. You know, this whole project was, upper 11 improvement, and you passed it as a 1-inch coefficient, and you're gonna dig an open ditch now. If you'd have put the pipe in there, it would've had cover, you just wouldn't have been able to cross it. Correct? There'd have been dirt over the tile if you'd went the tile away, and then it would have been a 1-inch coefficient. And now we're gonna double the size of the project for that many feet of open ditch that you're gonna dig.
But that's been decided a year ago. I don't know what we can change right now. I mean, the contract's been bid, it's been let, they've already dug half of it.
Now you're gonna consider for approval contract and notice to proceed with the project.
Right, because we just got the information from the engineer, and I got it on Tuesday, so I couldn't approve it last week.
But they've already dug, haven't they?
Yeah. This is just a formality. I mean, they already were awarded the contract,
I just know that we're gonna be negatively affected, and
but we still haven't finished any project for you yet either. Because once that was found out, the engineer started, we've already dug those trees out, now they've
One.
done some,
2. Julie. 3.
Rick,
and so they've already done some of that engineering work, and we need to wait from them to hear what we can do for the lower end. So we're working on it, it's not that it's been forgotten.
I don't know how the ditch would, how's that gonna negatively affect, because that'll handle all the water from the 1-inch coefficient.
But there'll be some water added, the length of that ditch.
The
Run-
surface
run off,
suffers.
yeah.
Yeah, but that'll help get rid of it even
For,
faster.
Yeah,
for at the top,
For the
but the
landowner.
people at the bottom,
Yeah.
you're gonna be negative.
But the argument that was made was that things will be drier in that area, so when we do have a heavy rain, it'll absorb more at that point.
In the ground, but if you have surface water that comes into that extension of the ditch, it's gonna come downstream faster, quicker. Is it gonna stay within the bank?
If you've got that much surface water, it would be over a tile too, it'd be getting into the tile system too.
But the tile's only gonna take so much.
But then the water will stay longer.
So then, if the tile's at 1-inch coefficient, it's only gonna take 1 inch in 24 hours. Now you're gonna put in an open ditch that's gonna take 2 inches
Well, that
And
should be
24
better because they'll get rid of it.
for the top, but it's gonna bring it downstream faster, right?
But then downstream, we're gonna hopefully take care of that problem also. So we'll get rid of it even better. So what I want is for it to be better for everybody.
Well, I do too.
And we're hoping that with what we're doing here is gonna be better for everybody. But,
Have you heard, are we gonna be able to straighten any of that?
Rick, are you on the
Oh, yeah.
line?
Yes, I'm on. We don't know yet, but we're looking into oxbow programs where you still have to leave some of the oxbows to allow water to go in and out of those, but the main channel can be straightened. And I just was reading an article about that last week. We absolutely have not given up on the straightening, and we got a good chance of at least some to help the flows.
Do you know when we might be able to see a report on it?
Probably within a month. We've got, we finally were able to finish the field work about 2 weeks ago, and Derek is working that up to get me something to work with.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yep.
anything else?
Yeah, is there any way we can keep this open to address these problems, or this problem?
It's already been addressed a lot of times, and we're working on that lower end to see what we can do. This project is already in the works.
It's gonna happen.
It's happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah, we
there
accept
isn't anything to change for this project.
Okay.
We have it.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with B&B Farm Drainage for DD11 Main Tile Improvement Project.
Well, since it's done, I guess I'll second it.
Motion from Derby, a second from Stenger to approve the contract and notice to proceed with B&B Farm Drainage for DD11 Main Tile Improvement Project. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Rick,
Yeah,
what, you said that you have to leave, I can't remember the name you used, the curves, or the S's?
yeah,
Oxbow.
oxbows is the technical term they use.
Okay.
Can I, point of order, we should probably go back to number 5 now officially, because we're not talking about the contract.
All right,
This is another part, so
we'll go back to number 5, Auditor's Office. We'll discuss drainage matters.
now we can talk.
Okay, yeah, I made that statement because the Army Corps looks at things very differently if you're trying to completely eliminate those oxbows as far as any water in them. We may still have to leave one opening into an oxbow so water can build up and drain out again. That's part of what we're trying to get worked out. If you eliminate them completely as far as not holding water, the requirements of the Corps are very, very demanding, like 50-foot set aside on each side, just lots of different stipulations. So that's part of what we're trying to work out with the design.
Are you gonna give an option for 50-foot set aside?
Probably, yeah. It's just, it gets so expensive. We think that will probably be eliminated, but it should definitely be part of the report.
Why would that be more expensive? You wouldn't be digging, or you,
But you couldn't, you can't, it has to be guaranteed to stay, CRP or whatever forever.
well, that would simply be an easement, a recorded easement.
But you can't use the ground, you can't get any income from the ground. You're basically losing that strip
Oh,
of land
you can't
from the
sign it.
ag.
You can't sign it up then for the CRP.
Oh, we thought that was so unfair, but we verified that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the costs just mount up
I
very
see.
quickly.
Okay, yep, I agree with you.
Good question. Good question.
Well, we look forward to the report on that and hopefully some progress.
You bet.
If it does, if you are able to straighten it out and just leave those jut out oxbows, you anticipate that'll, qualm the fears of, and rightly so, of the farmers?
It will help a lot. Yes, yeah,
It'll help with the flow of the water. It should be able to
exactly.
get through there quick.
Yep. And that'll be the flow 24 hours a day, so that between rain events, the water level drops and we have some capacity available. That helps. That's not always thought of as a benefit, but it certainly is.
Okay. I have no more questions.
Okay. Anything else? I know one of the meetings we had earlier when we were discussing all this stuff, I did suggest that the guys on the upper end, if your guys' situation got worse because of this in the end, if everything didn't work, that maybe the being their improvement was so good that they would help you guys out with your disimprovement. I got met with a few snickers.
Maybe the county will.
Well, the
Or the
drainage
The
district.
trustees will.
The drain, it just,
The trustees will.
Okay. All right. One of them days.
I'm the owner. Or Simone.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Bill, you have to own this.
I think I owned it already. That's contract.
Because there are a few projects that there's 100% agreement this year.
Yeah. Well, I told you before, I rephrased the not all's fair in love, war, and drainage.
You see the,
Ask the rig.
I just hope, yeah,
that's the updated drawing from,
Oh, and then I did talk briefly with Rick yesterday. They're running into some sand issues up by where that hog confinement is. So they do have to do some extra pipe in there, so that will hopefully help the Summit Farms anyway, because it's just gonna keep collapsing. So they're gonna do some extra tile work to help that out.
is he back there working again, or
That I don't know.
they just?
But they were
testing?
just talking about it, yeah, and so they will get a change order together to bring to us for that. And I drove around yesterday for a couple hours with Sean Helgeson, showed me a couple different things that they had just worked on and what they're going to do. That was kind of interesting to see, you know, what they look at and why they think that some things should be done this way or that way. It was good. So. It's kind of nice to get out there and actually see stuff.
Yeah, you get a mental picture of it.
I don't know when 18 lat 11 is gonna, the boring, they still are having troubles getting a hold of that person to get here, I guess. So,
Boring guy. Over there. I thought he was on his way.
I drove by it yesterday and there's nothing there. No notes on it or anything.
Maybe back at 11 then.
Yeah.
Now there's a contract.
So, did you guys have anything else for drainage?
I don't,
I don't think so.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, what about the trees you were talking about?
What?
You guys each had trees that were tile? Or planters?
Oh, mine was, I think I might have told you about it last week. It was an ongoing situation up there in, DD 21, flat 8, I think it is.
Yeah, people keep calling about that one and I keep telling them that we've had different contractors out there and.
Now the problem has been solved.
Oh,
When they opened it up, it flushed like a toilet.
so
Water's all gone.
what happened?
Tree roots over the private tile.
Oh, no wonder we never found anything.
So it wasn't
Just-
anything in our district tile.
Okay,
and mine might not be, Jerry has yet to, Jerry Ruckus has yet to determine, so. That's up there on Gretchen Titus and, John.
Crosses the railroad.
Yeah, the road,
Larry.
the old rake dump up there
Oh, yeah,
John.
goes right through there.
yeah. They got that,
What's his first name?
flush.
John.
Yeah, Terry Hewitt went out there and opened it up
I
and,
thought Helgeson's was up there working.
oh, we've had
Yeah.
Hollins up
Owns the
there.
pizza.
no, Holland was the one that worked on it.
Hagen.
And-
Helgeson
Oh,
had
okay, yeah.
equipment up there just in the day.
They were doing something different.
But,
I'm just shocked they let this be that close to a range.
Flat 8
Yeah,
and then that private tile.
yeah, then
You
you,
want to see this? This is the, just updated.
yeah.
And now we're gonna probably put a pipe in there.
We just had people out there doing our thing.
okay, let's see, where's the
Chris,
blacktops
Do you have
here?
any idea, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Transmit's here, okay, this is ground, Terry did a bunch of pattern tiling up in here, and then they ran, instead of taking it, they could have taken it up here, but they decided to run it down into this line, and they went underneath the railroad tracks, and tied into lat 8 somewhere down in here, and it turns out that lat 8 isn't the problem, it was,
Okay, well, that's good.
Because you know me, that short's kind of, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Well, if you think of it, you can come over and.
So last week we talked about it was gonna be a little closer to the fence, but it went a little closer, but only about 5 feet.
yeah,
Just was surprised at the beginning of all this.
106 feet isn't enough for their turnaround.
30 yards?
They don't have a lot of faith in their truck drivers.
Evidently not, I was just gonna say,
I was not in it that day.
anything that's, less in length than what your truck is, or more in length than what your truck is, you can turn around in. I'm sure most trucks are only about 70
No,
feet the longest.
They fear backing a truck into the ditch.
They shouldn't be driving trucks.
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of those people out there.
I know there
And you
is.
gotta make it as idiot-proof as possible.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
I will second that.
Motion Stenser, and it's on a motion from Derby and a second from Stenser to approve payroll claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned then, right?
So,
I see we're getting concrete out front here.